Copy.
Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana gold hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Sunday edition of Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes, and joining me tonight, as always, we got Rich Cooley's here, Scott Swiftwater, Toney, and the One Buffaloes are back, Shad and Kathleen Biffle. Welcome
You're
back,
back
you
from
guys.
wandering.
You're back from wandering, yeah.
Yes, we made it back from beautiful Alaska.
Oh,
Beautiful Alaska. We see.
Well, mosquito-filled beautiful Alaska.
no more mosquitoes this time.
Yeah,
I was
because
gonna
a ton of rain they've been getting. So, and flooding before we got there. So that pretty much hatched a swarm of mosquitoes.
Oh, did
Bit
you have
all
your
over my head.
Did you have your fancy mosquito net hats?
No, we didn't bother because last year it was no big deal. No big deal.
Sure.
You bought them just for that occasion last year.
So we had our essential oil spray. We had DEET. We were
Okay.
good.
And did you? No problems. Did it keep you?
Well, I forgot an ingredient in my essential oil spray,
Therefore, we went to the DEET.
so it didn't. It worked for a little bit, but you can't substitute lemongrass. You just gotta have
What did you substitute it with? Nothing or?
lemon.
Oh, just lemon.
But no, you need the lemongrass.
It didn't work the same, huh? So you
Note
ended
to
up going
self.
just deep woods off.
Oh, it was like I had faith in my wife's essential oil bug spray because it really worked last time. And like I had it on, I'm like, we're cool, we're walking down in the evening, and then I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, getting bit all over. I'm like, something's not right. And she goes, "You must have missed the spots. They'll go if you miss the spots." So I was like, just drenching myself. Nope. Getting bit and I'm scratching, drawing blood everywhere. It's
I have
crazy.
mosquito bites all
She
over
got attacked in the
my
face.
Really?
She had bumps everywhere.
Well, don't they come to like the warm spot, like your breath? Isn't that why?
Well, they evidently like Thai flavoring. So
Maybe.
They don't buzz either.
They
So
don't
they
what?
sneak up on you. I never heard them buzzing. They just like
They don't, yeah, they're not going to buzz when their wings are pinned back and a kamikaze dive bomb at your skin.
Yeah, they're silent. They're just diving in on you guys.
oh yeah, but we
Stealth mode.
of course after 2 days of losing faith in the product, we did go to the deep woods off,
Deep woods off.
and it was so funny. You'd see them come close, and they just went.
I did not like using that.
Oh,
but
her face every
whatever.
time she had to spray it was hilarious.
Now, could you pack that? How did you take that on the plane?
Oh, they had a whole container. Because I mean, like last year, I did bring some killer bug spray stuff, and even the one cans you could spray gear, and I just left it, and that's what a lot of people do. Or you can buy it at the Fred Meyer or Walmart grocery store,
okay.
depending where you stop before, right after they pick you up from the hotel. So
Okay.
What's that? Anywhere from $15 to $22.99 up there?
actually, stuff really wasn't too bad.
In Fairbanks.
Not at all. In Fairbanks, yeah, Fairbanks. You know,
Because remember, we fly into Fairbanks,
Right.
but then we have to ride 6 hours, the 6-hour drive just to Chicken, and then it's an hour hover boat ride.
Now they pick you up at Fairbanks, right?
Yes,
yeah.
they will.
You get a discounted rate at La Quinta Inn by the airport. So they will pick you up in the morning, and after you get loaded up, you stop first in town to go to either Fred Meyer, which we did, or Walmart. So
Whichever you want.
that way you can get snacks, like because they provide lunch and dinners and food to pack
And
for
breakfast.
lunches. Oh yeah, breakfast. Sorry, I repeated myself. So all your food's included, but if you want beer,
Wine.
whiskey, wine,
You
snack
buy that
food,
yourself.
junk food, or maybe some other fruit, cherries like we did. You can buy that. Plus, we bought pillows since we don't want to fly with that. If you needed bug spray or other items,
Yeah.
you can
Right.
just pick up there, so you don't have to bring it down. Because I mean, you got to think.
I bet
it's
you left
deep
your
in the-
pillows.
Yeah, it's deep in the Alaskan bush, but there is a shower. So you can get your little shampoo or body, or just take it from the hotel.
How deep in the bush are you?
Oh, you're deep.
There's nobody.
There's nobody. I mean, you will
there's a lot-
see the occasional people going down the river, either on rafts to float down to their claims.
Right.
You pass a handful of people that are
With
actually
dredges.
working all their claims on with dredges.
It's all miners. It's not like.
But you guys were still in the pine trees, right? Though not the actual Alaskan bush.
We were we were in the tundra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you would have walked, like, okay, the pine trees are all around you, but they're up in the tundra too.
It was cold.
Yeah.
It got down to like 40 degrees at night.
Really?
Oh, one night it got down to 38.
It was cold.
That's
So
cold.
it was definitely chilly. Some days though it got to 75 during the daytime.
Okay. So you had
And
So
nice
just to
was
day.
show you like the force of that river, the whole Euler Creek area was totally different because of that flood. I mean,
Really?
it didn't even look the same from the year before because the flood just moved so much material.
Right.
Oh, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Like Euler Creek was, you had to walk down into it. This year, you
It was
literally, it was like the gravel bar was level with the camp, and you just walked out to it, and there was like a small stream. So we'll share. We'll have to find last year's pictures and
And
compare them
compare.
with this
Do
year.
the like, yeah, the before.
It was interesting to see how much it changed just from that flood that came through a week and a half prior to us arriving.
Wow.
Now, Shad, I heard you got shook down at the airport. What happened?
All right. Well, this was in Columbus when we were leaving.
Uh-huh.
Which, okay, it was hot. It was like 95 that day. So if you have a little bit of sweat, it pops up as little marks. So you get frisked anyway. Well, I also had a trainee TSA person frisking me who's never done it before, which was kind of funny and had no sense of humor. I was trying to, his supervisor kind of chuckled, but had to keep it together. And I'm like, boy, you got to get up in there and check, man. I was like, stop being so gentle. But yeah, oh
He
yeah,
even
no.
tested his hands.
Oh yeah, because
for-
after I had the explosive residue test they had to do. Then of course, because you can't put lithium batteries in your checked bags anymore. They have to go on your carry-on. So my backpack is filled with drone batteries, lithium batteries, other power packs, all this. So of course it gets stopped every time, and they're like going through like, "What's this?" I'm like, "It's for a drone." And then of course, they're like taking their swabs, putting it in the machine to make sure no residue of explosive.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was funny. That was actually the most I've ever been frisked repeatedly.
It took forever.
Damn.
I just went right through.
Yeah. Of course, I had my America hat.
He looked too American.
I look too American.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so.
It could have been.
Here I was with my veil, with my mask with the veil, and I just go right through.
Oh,
Stroll
and
through.
Kathleen did point out we did figure out the solution to the masks on an airplane, right? Because it
Uh-huh.
sucks. But
They do give you beer and wine.
yes, but as long as you're sipping something or eating, because you can buy drinks or food at the airport
And
in
bring
the
it
little shop
on.
and bring it on.
Right.
Or pack your snacks, which we actually did for the first time coming back, which was kind of cool. But as long as you're like even just nibbling on something, obviously you can have your mask off and down. So the trick is just
keep eating.
eat and munch and sip your drink the whole flight, and you never have to
I
wear
mean, I
it.
can't tell you you gotta keep
Okay.
it on eating.
All right. Just keep sipping your water.
Yeah, and evidently, the travel size liquor bottles are not allowed on airplanes.
Don't do it.
I
Why?
thought they were.
They told me that last time I got caught with them. I said, dude, I've been having these in my backpack ever since I started these flights. I don't care what you say.
TSA allows it through, and
They won't stop you.
They're like, well, as long as you have it in the Ziploc baggie, and they look at it, they're like, oh, it's fine. But the airlines may not like it. So we were like, okay, we're just discreet. Well, at the first one, the little regional
He was
jet
not
we're starting to land. I pull out, I had a little bit, and I'm sitting up there like this, and the lady's like 2 feet in front of me, just staring at me, and walks up and goes, I can't do anything about that now, but you're not allowed to have that. I was like, okay, my bad.
It sounds like you was a little troublemaker.
I was a troublemaker.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
I can-
even coming back, I was getting frisked and my bag searched again, and I'm like, man,
Man, would they put your name on a list or something?
I must be on the list.
Yeah.
I can see Shad pouring that drink. She goes, I can't do anything now. Well, if you can't do anything now, I'm gonna open up these other two and empty those as well.
Yeah, oh, man.
It was a lot of fun though.
It sounds like you guys had a lot of fun. So tell us about the dredging. How many days did you guys dredge?
Oh, I
5
think
days.
technically we were out there ourselves for 5 days,
Yeah.
but
We
all
did.
day dredging, I think it was maybe 4 for us because we were doing a lot of filming, helping them out.
Right.
And just mingling and getting footage of other people too. But
And we got to run the Supermax 6-inch dredge for 1 day, and that was the most awesomest day.
You want one, Kathleen?
we want one.
If I live someplace like that, yes.
Yeah.
Somewhere where you
Not
can
here
have
in
it
Ohio.
sitting out there and you didn't have to pack it. It's not a weekend dredge.
You could actually stand on this dredge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, to get the plug
get the
ups
plugs
out,
out,
I had
you
to
have
climb
to.
up there with we ended up cutting down little pine trees and taking off the branches
Mhm.
to plunge it. I
Right.
had to get up there. I was like, oh my gosh. But and even cleaning it out, but cleaning out was actually really simple.
It was
because it
It
has
was really easy.
the Supermax is designed and developed by Keen. But what makes this cool is compared to the standard 6-inch dredge, everyone knows from the videos, they're shorter boxes. They're not
Mhm.
really long. So we're dealing up there, you're dealing with really fine micro dusty gold. So it's, you're going to have a loss. Now with the standard 6-inch, your losses are going to be a little bit higher because the box isn't that long and not enough capture, even though it's a 3-stage sluice box.
Right.
Now the 6-inch, of course, is a really long. I don't have the measurements off the top of my head, but
It's
I think it's like 10 feet long.
And then it's got a little
Sump.
at the end of the
Mhm.
sluice, so it'll run all of the material that's coming off the main sluice box and pump it into 2 side sluices.
Yep.
And those will catch all the little gold, which
It's
adds up quite a
it's
bit.
they have a 1/8 inch classifier screen at the very end of the dredge where the sump is, so it's just getting all that really fine material that makes it through the box, and it's really shocking to see on both of the 2 side sluice boxes that are then pumping that material and water and run it through. Which what's cool is that design, you can adjust the flow independently of each of those side boxes, so you can really slow it down to process that material and give it more chance for it to settle and
Really?
work rather than just blowing through like the main boxes. So it was fascinating. I mean, you could just see the gold piled up everywhere, and like it was like
awesome.
night and day difference.
Yeah, but if
between the standard.
If the stuff's just blowing through the main box, can't you slow your motors down a little bit to slow the flow of the main box down?
we ran it as slow as we could
So you would
without getting
always-
clogs.
Yeah, because you're gonna get clogs with the
I
amount of
got you, I got
rocks
you.
that are there. So you want enough,
Yeah.
flow going through your box, but then you don't want too much. And then the
Yeah.
thing you have to do, a tender is absolutely like recommended
Mm-hmm.
to have one because you're constantly working. You're not just sitting on the bank reading a book like I tried last year. It didn't work.
Yep.
You're not doing that because of the amount of rocks that can fit through that hose. Sometimes it gets stopped on your riffle, and
Okay.
then if your tender's not doing what they're supposed to,
Oh, your box.
you could
is
have
crazy.
a backup. Like Brian, he had like a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple, 2 guys that were
Yeah.
working on their own with their own dredges. They didn't have partners, and they had the option to either team
They
up or
could have
work
teamed up.
by themselves. So they work by themselves, which is
Mhm.
cool. You don't have to split your gold. Like I have to give all mine to her.
But you get more gold when you have 2 people. Just
But
saying.
yeah, you can work nonstop a lot easier.
'Cause
But
you work
I
nonstop.
walked down to get more oil, and he had the oil down there, and I looked at his box, and it was like completely backed up because one, he was in a shallower spot, and he was still diving a little bit, and I had to move his dredge and clear off because all these rocks, a lot of them are really jagged, flat, chewed up pieces of old
bedrock.
bedrock.
Yeah.
So they get up there and they'll just get caught on the riffles or just on the plate if your water is not running fast enough to push them off. So you have to have somebody there grabbing to move stuff around.
Or just, helping them down.
Yeah. Just a little tappy.
Just a little tap.
A little tap. But yeah.
True.
Oh,
still
the
got
other
the-
thing. What's that?
They still got the dampers on them dredges too, right?
The dampeners? Explain.
The dampers, the big piece of the
Oh,
rubber that goes.
the rubber.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
The Super 6 has this flap where
He was talking at the sluice box.
Oh, I thought you meant the
No,
little.
no,
Okay,
no.
I'm going to talk about this
Yes,
flap for a minute.
they all had those dampeners, which definitely.
Okay.
But here, go ahead, Kathleen. She
little
loved its other
Oh my
feature.
gosh, this was my absolutely favorite thing because we ran the regular 6-inch first before we did the Super Max 6, and it was the stiffer hose, and once you get a rock in there that's just jammed, you have to like either throttle down and do all that stuff to get it out.
Right.
And it takes away from your dredge time, and not to mention it hurts. but
Yeah.
but the Super Max 6, if you got a rock stuck in the nozzle, you could just lift up this side flap and it would reduce the suction. So you didn't have to throttle down. You just lifted it up and then you could pull the rock right out. It was really nice.
You like that?
Oh yeah.
And the cave-ins, sometimes you get a cave-in. If you saw that coming, if you just flip that mat up, you don't have to worry about getting a clog because all the stuff going into your hole from the cave-in.
Oh,
you can't control it fast enough to like stop the rock sometimes.
Right.
If you lift that flap up, you don't have to worry about it just like getting sucked in there and then causing all kinds of issues.
Oh.
Yeah, so pretty much I am going to take her 2-inch backpack and cut a little hole and put a little flap for her there to open up like, there you go.
You don't need that on a 2-inch. But I would highly recommend that like for even like a 4-inch. I would think that would
It'd be
for
a
me
nice,
anyway.
well, she loved the flap. I'm blown away on the sump. And I guess somebody said, I haven't looked into it, but you can go to Keen's website or they still have their old catalog, which the catalog has way more products and all the parts and stuff.
Right.
But I heard that they have a sump kit for 4-inch dredges and higher, which I'm sorry, if you're dealing with fine gold in an area, that sump is amazing.
Ohio has
With
a lot
two
of
sides.
gold.
And that's something to look into, Shad.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I think if you're dealing with bigger, chunkier, coarser gold, it's not really needed.
Right.
But if you're in an area like another guy we met up there, he's from northern Idaho, so he's all dealing with the same type of just like Ken the Mountain Man, just that really fine powdery gold that's a pain.
Right.
So he's going to look into some. Heck, he's thinking the Super 6 because he has several claims that he works during the summer. So for him, it would make sense. But the Super Max 6 is, I think, like starts around 15 grand.
Really?
I would
For a
have to live
6-inch?
somewhere where that would pay itself. Like
Well,
Scott
all right.
said.
Now, Scott, okay, I'm with you. Now, everything's by about volume of material. Now, that Super 6 compared to the standard 6-inch will process significantly more material as well as capture
And
more
why?
gold. Now, if you compare it
why?
to a standard 8-inch dredge, obviously that's a lot more material, a ton more. It's not a 2-inch difference. Volume-wise, it's huge going through there. However, because the Super Max 6 is so much easier to maneuver and work compared to the big 8-inch dredge or 10-inch, you could process more material than the 8-inch. They even said from.
So what makes
comparison to
what makes
people.
this Super 6 process more than any other 6?
Oh well,
You don't get clogs.
yeah. But I think
Well,
it's also your capture zones.
Yeah.
So I guess that's when you take into account the amount of material that it's able to process and capture.
I mean, it still runs off 2 engines, right?
2 engines, yeah.
But
The
both of them got
Super Max,
P180s,
yes,
right?
2 engines. So one of the 6-inches we worked this time
Only
was
had the
only 1
one.
inch. I liked the twin engine a lot better.
Right.
I noticed it had better power. You were able to idle better.
Oh, yeah.
I did not really like the single engine, even though it was the big Is it the 390X? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
That
don't know. It was a big engine, and the Supermax had 2 of those. But compared to a single engine 6 and the twins that we had last year, I like the twin engine a lot better.
and the Super 6 has the flexible hose, which was easier for me than the
Yeah, they had the
the
more rigid hoses on the regular 6-inch dredges.
I got
So
sore.
you pretty much were straight on. If you had you weren't able to kind of maneuver. I don't know. It made a difference as far as your fatigue too. Just
and
because
sleuth
the
box,
hose.
right? And the boxes on it, right?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. I mean, the Supermax 6, you're crossing the threshold into trying to be a small commercial entry level dredge.
Yeah, but what makes it so good? What makes it better than a 6? I don't get
standard 6, right? Like Scott, you got a 6-inch dredge, right?
Oh yeah, that's thunder.
Well, okay, your standard 6-inch, granted, it's going to be more portable for you than the Supermax, big time.
Definitely.
The main thing is just the bigger boxes and longer boxes to capture. I mean, the regular standard 6-inch box is so short compared to the amount of material running through there.
And it didn't have the little flaps on the nozzle.
It's all about that flap on the nozzle.
Yeah, it's the main box. You're going from like a 5 foot long to almost 10 foot, I think.
See, that's the difference.
So that's just the main box. Forget about the sump and the 2 little side sluice boxes. But yeah, I mean, granted, the standard 6-inch is a beast of a machine. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it was so funny though. They did have the 4-inch. They brought out for their like family day basically, and they had the 10-inch and the 8-inch, and then right in between, I have a picture. They had the little 4-inch. The 4-inch looked like Kathleen's backpack dredge next to all these. And you see them with the hose, and you got a 10-year-old working the 4-inch, and you're just like, wow, it's so little. But like here in Ohio, you go from a 2-inch to a 4. It's like, yeah, look at that 4.
Yeah. It's huge. Big difference. But you guys had a good time.
Oh yeah, we did.
See?
We got to hear thunder out there, which was cool.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever heard a thunderstorm in Alaska?
It was pretty cool out there.
What's different about it?
Just echoed.
I bet Arizona's like that too, I'm guessing.
Because of the mountains and stuff.
There wasn't anything to absorb it, I guess, and dampen the sound, so it just rolls off the tundra and down into the river canyons.
Did you see any wildlife this year?
Moose.
Not moose on the drive-in.
Mm-hmm.
No caribou in camp. No bears this time. We found wolf prints.
Okay.
That were really fresh, and moose prints that were really fresh right where we were dredging when we first got there. But other
one
than
of the
that,
divers that they had their German Shepherd dog.
Really?
Oh my gosh. So we were like really, really homesick for the dogs.
For sure.
Just having
not the kids, just the dogs.
And this dog was amazing. He would like the diver would kayak down to the dredge, and the dog would just run along the bank and the tundra and even cross the river on parts that maybe he couldn't get around because it was just a mountainside.
That dog is living the dream, ain't he? So
his name was Cooper, and I just wanted to cuddle up with that dog every night because it was just so cute.
Oh jeez.
The German Shepherd.
Well,
I got my mining dog on the way about 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, cool.
That's right. You get
4 weeks.
4 more weeks, Scott, and you will have Rango. Will be
Rango.
Yeah.
Right?
You didn't change his name or nothing, did you? It's still Rango, right?
No, it's still Rango.
Okay. All right. Just saying. You never know.
That's pretty cool when you can have a dog that just stays with you while you dredge and doesn't run off and bark at people.
Well, what's going to be bad? He gets a month to be around me, and then it's right to the gold fields. He's like, what's going on? He gets thrown right in the mix this year. That's for sure.
Now, do you have to snake train a puppy there, or do they just know?
They'll probably have a little bit of an instinct, but you'll have to, you'll have to keep an eye on it, because some of them will come up there and they'll grab it by the head and want to shake it like a sock.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, some of them know what to do and some of them don't. So I'll just have to pay attention to figure out which one he is. Yesterday I went down on the claim and did some test holes, and there was this one patch where like the javelina's been going in and laying under a tree, and I jumped under that tree. As soon as I jumped up, man, well, you could hear it, boy. He was hot. This guy would not quit rattling. I mean, it was a constant, just shaking back and forth. And I was looking around like, oh, there he is, and he's sitting like right along a rock, and he's got, stretched out looking at me like, what are you doing? And so I said, well, heck, I said, as long as you stay there, I'm good. So I started drilling my hole. As soon as he felt me drill, he turned around, started crawling away. But he got, 10, 15 feet. That thing was still rattling like he was sitting right in front of me. He just didn't want to stop.
He didn't like you being there.
No, I think I scared him just as bad as he scared me. But like I said, he rattled about 4 feet away, and you automatically, you know what that sound is. You just stop,
Mm-hmm.
and you look. You look. You got to find out where he's at before you do anything stupid. So, but yeah, I seen him, and he's probably about 4 foot long, and probably about 3 inches round.
Nice. Dang.
But you could tell he had plenty of energy from the sun, because he rattled like forever.
No snakes. No.
No snakes.
Well, Shad, Kathleen, I'm glad you guys are back. Glad you had a good time, and we all look forward to seeing the videos when they start going up.
Definitely.
I'm sure you got a lot of editing to do. So,
What?
Scott, what'd you say?
I said, now the editing comes in.
Right, that's what I said. He's got a lot of editing.
We got a lot to go through.
We have a lot.
We're just gonna do maybe just a couple this time, not as many as
not
last
a series.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll definitely highlight the Supermax. We did shoot brief footage, even though we didn't have time to run the 8 or the 10.
Right.
I'm gonna show a comparison video of what they did to the 10.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Plus,
That'll
there's
be
one cleanup they did, and it was like a little mini giant loaf of bread from the gold cleanup from the 10-inch. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
melted into the loaf of bread.
No.
Hey, how long do you think that box is on the 10-inch?
I don't know. It's probably about 14.
Think 12 feet?
14.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's a long
Really?
one. Yeah, the main box. Yeah. Maybe even a little bit longer. I don't know. I'll ask later and find
Okay.
out for you.
Oh, we could just look on
That'd be
last
pretty
week.
cool.
Oh, hey, Shad, you know what else?
No.
What about them gold prices?
Yeah,
Hang on. I gotta open up a
I hope
different web page now since I always use
I hope
Chrome.
they're still up in the air.
Well, last I looked, they were over 1,800, so that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
buddy.
But yeah, let me enable my
Yeah.
flash.
See what they are.
I was gonna say, if you ain't got it, I got it.
Oh, hang on. I don't know why it plays automatically. Sorry. Huh? It's blank. So let me just go to a page. That's weird. Do. Okay, talk. Give me a second. This sucks.
Yeah,
It's just
You're
awkward.
fine. No worries.
I got it if you want me to.
No, don't take away my thunder.
Miss everybody, and it's good to be back.
It's Shad's job. He likes
I know,
doing
I
it.
just like this.
Yeah.
I just like messing with you.
All right, I'm ready.
There you go.
Gold is up $12.16. It's sitting pretty at $1,810.18.
Woohoo. It's still up there.
Silver is also up 19 cents at $19.35.
Dang. Way to go,
Not too
silver.
shabby. Platinum's also up at $12.07 at $838.12.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Uh-huh.
Palladium. Can't forget about that.
No.
$30.54 up. It's at $2,021.15. So that's starting to shoot back up. Now, of course, rhodium, that only went up $175, but it's at $8,700.
It's still doing good.
That's due. That's
Yeah.
It's
I
doable.
guess that's okay.
It's definitely doable.
I mean, it's no $14,000 like it
No.
was
Not yet.
back in March.
Right. But it'll get back there. Wait, we shall see. And what about birthday, Shad?
Oh, there's quite a few today.
We just lost your video too.
You didn't lose me.
Oh, you turned it off. Turn it off. We want to see you.
Hang on.
It should say Wandering Buffaloes on
It says Shad.
It's a Shad.
Shad. You need to change that.
There we go. It works. Yeah, we'll have to change it again. All right. So it is July the 19th. We have Bob Vega, Charles B. Dennison Jr., Dale, Dwight, Jeff and Melissa Anderson, Larry Masters, Linda D. Chapman, Michael Mansfield, Mike Ross, Richard Joyner, Rick Moore, Shirley Drum, Steve Gill, and Tristan. Tomorrow we have Bandit, Pat SWWA, Brandon Hubner, Craig Kindle, Daniel Durbin, Dave Veraboff, which he's Gold Bay.
Gold Bay guy, yeah.
And Gold Fever Dave. That's all I can see tomorrow. So quite a few, I think.
Quite a few. Who are you going to highlight?
Who do you want me to highlight?
Dude,
Gotta be the Bandit, man.
who, Scott?
The Bandit.
The Bandit.
All right, so that's tomorrow. Okay. Bandit Pat, Southwest Washington. That makes more sense once you click on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, we got a little picture in his little one-man hovercraft. He's from Gamokawa, Washington.
Interesting.
It's a minor outlying island, I guess. Huh.
Yep. Hey.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he enjoys rock hounding, dredging, and metal detecting. He does not belong to any clubs. He was invited to the site by a member, none other than Cecil.
A Cecil?
Of course, it was Cecil.
Another one. Man, I think he
He
gets
totally
everybody.
wins with all the referrals. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Cecil referred more people than anybody.
But Bandit joined back in 2012.
2012. Gamokawa. Is that where he's from? You said?
I don't know how to say that.
All right, he's from it's SKAMO. Here, I'll just put it in the chat room. It's easier that way because that's a. And why gold? Your gold is back in Alaska in the river. Go get it. That's where I left it for you.
Go get it.
It's still there for you, yeah.
It's sitting right there.
Gamokawa.
Gamokawa.
Gamokawa, Washington. Looks like to me. I don't have a clue. No clue.
It looks like it's pretty.
Yeah, it's right on the border of Washington and Oregon.
Gamokawa.
Water.
And the Columbia River.
Very interesting. That's cool. Never heard of it, but still cool.
It is cool.
Gamokawa.
Gamokawa.
That's cool.
I don't know about you guys, but we've been sleeping for what, 2 days?
Off and on. Well,
it was never sunlight.
It was never what?
It was never dark.
Oh, it was that way again. It was all.
It was
day.
brighter
A lot
at
brighter.
night than it was last time. It's starting to get every day. I think they lose 7 minutes of daylight from June 21st from the equinox.
Right.
But yeah, it was noticeable difference again from the first day we were there, and then when we left. You know, it's getting darker, but
so confused.
So how late was you guys up at night there?
It varied.
The latest was 1
Yeah,
a.m.
1 in the morning.
But it was still light out.
It was still light out.
you told I would always say, hey, are we ever, or somebody would be like, hey,
Are we gonna be
we're
done?
gonna be
when
done
it gets
again.
dark?
I'm like, yeah, when it gets dark.
Yeah, there you go. Man, so you guys slept for 2 days when you got home?
Off and on, yeah. I'm still trying to get back. I was struggling
He
to go to bed last night. And next thing I know, it's like 3 in the morning. I'm like, I'm not that tired.
Right.
But I think tonight I'll be able to, because we go back to work to the real world tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You guys,
sad.
do you got to self quarantine again now that you're went to another state and came back home?
We are self quarantined in our house.
For 14 more
Stay
days.
away, or I will cough on you.
For 14 more days, right?
Oh, he did get his face mask.
Oh yeah, okay. My "Don't Cough on Me" face mask arrived at the day after we left. I was bummed, but I've already worn it out just for fun.
Did you?
Because I think it's funny.
You worked at a store.
I get weird looks.
I bet you do.
What does it say again?
Well, it's, of course,
Will you
the
get it?
snake on the Gadsden flag, "Don't tread on me."
Mm-hmm.
Well, it has that snake, but it has like its mouth open like it's coughing, and then it says "Don't cough on me."
Oh,
Instead of
face.
"Don't tread on me," "Don't cough on me."
right.
Perfect.
Mock the system.
You don't have it next to you?
No, it's in the truck. I think I left it out
All right.
there.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break and come back with some Cooley's Corner. I know Rich is going to be in Louisiana, ain't you, Rich?
Yep.
Oh.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. All right, then. We'll be right back after these messages.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their miners' legal fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit DirtHogPayDirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. DirtHogPayDirt.com, the best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
If you're interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time, tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorsSpace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorsSpace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at GoldProspectorsSpace.com. GoldProspectorsSpace.com.
Welcome to Cooley's Corner. Join Rich Cooley as he talks about equipment, new products, and so much more for all us prospectors and treasure hunters. Here's Rich.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Cooley's Corner. Tonight we are traveling to Louisiana. And adjust my camera here. All right, gold prospecting in Louisiana is fairly unproductive. Small amounts of placer gold can be recovered, but nearly all the gold recovered with extremely fine flour gold. Gold has not been found in the quantities to interest commercial endeavors, but small-scale gold prospectors can find a bit of gold if they are persistent. Most of the documented gold discoveries in Louisiana are in the central part of the state. Check out the creeks around the Nachitos. Boy, that's a hard one to say. There are reports of fine flour gold found in abandoned gravel pits in the Catahoula Parish. Man, I'm going to run into a lot of weird names. I can tell you that right now.
You got it.
One of the better known areas to find gold is the west, near the town of Jenna at Hemps Creek. Due to low concentrations of gold present in this area, it will probably be best to use the larger equipment such as sluice boxes, high bankers, or even dredges to help you process the larger amounts of potential gold-bearing gravel. Painting will recover gold, but will limit the amount of material that you can process at a time. Just be careful that your equipment is set up to maximize efficiency and retain as fine the gold as possible. Don't expect to find large gold nuggets or even picker-sized gold. Almost all reports of the gold in Louisiana say that the recoveries are extremely fine. There's an active GPA claim in central Louisiana. Anyone interested in gold prospecting in the state are encouraged to contact your local clubs. They can really help the beginners getting started off on the right foot. And that's what we always tell you to do. Basically, try to learn the area and then contact somebody there. Although not placer gold, there is actually quite a bit of gold in Louisiana that is believed to be scattered on the beaches, shallow estuaries, and rivers near the Gulf of Mexico. Left behind in many pirate ships that once ventured through that area, it was common for ships to stay near the coastline, using natural landmarks to navigate their way. Now, also, we're going to actually talk about some of the treasures and stuff too. In this article I had, it had a bunch of treasure stuff in here also. Okay. So we'll kill two birds with one stone. Bad storms and hurricanes hit more than a few of these ships, breaking apart their hull and scattering their plunders. Often this was gold and silver coins along with other valuable relics. Much of this is still waiting to be found by the treasure hunter. So don't just limit your research or your search for gold to placer gold in the rivers and streams. Louisiana's treasures are abundant. You just have to know what to look for. Where was gold found in the state of Louisiana? Well, in February of 1882, R.C. Cameron reported evidence of placer mining for gold on Rocky Bayou and Bayou Darrell. He was ridiculed and scoffed at, so he sent samples of the creek bottom sands to New Orleans and the assayers Clausen and Lynch. They reported that the sands of these creek bottoms would yield per ton $19.80 in silver ore and $179.84 in gold. Now, this was back in what, 1882?
That's pretty good money.
So in April 1887, Indor Gillard took 150 workers in the area and made a number of excavations. The project was successful as far as finding gold and silver, but was not profitable and the project was abandoned. Don Jose Bernardo Maximilio Gutierrez Di Lardo, I guess that's his whole name. He was a merchant and a blacksmith at Revilla, a village near the junction of Rio Salado and the Rio Grande, Mexico. Gutierrez was a follower of the Padres Hidalgo Castillo and, man, all these names.
Nice.
Jose Maria Morales, who were encouraging a revolt among the peons and the pestillos, which is half-breeds, to overthrow the government of Mexico. There was a Captain Jose Jesacha, a deserter of the Mexican Royalist Army, and 10 others. They left the Revilla with 30,000 of Mexican gold, with which they were to finance a filibustering expedition into Texas. The men were persuaded by the Mexican Royalist militia as far as La Villa do Bajo, 3 miles west of Lake End. This is weird. There are several confusing reports that the gold was taken by the Royalist troops and squandered by them. Gutierrez stated this fact, but Machaca stated that the gold was lost in the bandits, while Gutierrez was on his way overland to Natchez. They were transporting the gold in a two-wheeled cart when he left Nachat. Man, this is weird. Natchitoches.
Jeez, I have no.
Nachitoches. I don't know. But to not have the gold or the cart when he had reached the land. Supposedly had a way station near present day Dry Prong. Whatever. It did have several way stations along the Natchez Trace. Not long thereafter, Gutierrez returned to Nachitos and reported losing the gold. So basically, they must have had way stations along the way that they checked this stuff, and it ended.
You know, I've heard of that. I've heard of the Rio Salado and Hidalgo's gold. And wasn't that? Didn't you say like that was supposed to be getting transferred from down in Mexico up into Texas?
Yeah.
I think it got robbed or something. I can't remember the story, but I know the Rio Salado and Hidalgo's gold. I know something about that. I can't remember. Dang it.
Well, that's probably what this article is about. The question remains, did he hide the gold or was it robbed? None of the Mexican Minigold Eagles ever turned up in that area. This is just one of the many stories of lost treasures in the Grand Parish area. And in March 1887, a number of Indian relics, such as flints, pottery, etc., was unearthed on the main street of Colfax by Lindsay, who was excavating a ditch. It was among the Creoles and their slaves. A belief existed the Spanish treasure was buried in Indian Hill, 2 miles east of the present town of Colfax. And in another hill, 3 miles north of the town, R.C. Cameron, who gave the subject some attention, writes in February 1887 that the indications of old placer mines exist here. The waters of the Rocky Bayou and Bayou Dario being used for washing. Indeed, Mr. Cameron found what he termed gold, but the discovery was ridiculed until April 1887. That's when Clausen and Lynch, assayers of New Orleans, showed the 1980 in silver and 179.84 in gold per ton of sand. In 1830, a Spaniard named Raphael told Adored Gillard that there was gold in the hills, but went thither and collecting a small quantity of earth and rocks, shipped it to Washington, D.C. for an essay. The report was not favorable and the mine was abandoned. That Miss Cora Lacour recollects hearing her father and others speak of the venture. Yes, gold has been and is still being found in Louisiana. The creek beds around Jenna and Cheetos have produced gold. There's even a gold hunting club that hunts around Jenna. They didn't even mention the ancient caves in that area also. They say some rare gems and minerals in Louisiana.
Right.
There really isn't many. It's like a gate, and then there's like petrified wood. And then there's an oyster shell.
Oh, those are some fine minerals.
Yeah. On the oyster shell, Louisiana adopted the cut and polished oyster shell in the Cabochon cut form as the official gemstone in 2011.
Okay.
The cross tria, man,
Some
weird names.
weird names, dude.
It's commonly available in large numbers of the coast of Louisiana. The shell of the oyster, when cut in that form and polished, is considered a gemstone material and was designated as the new state gemstone, replacing the agate.
Oh, okay.
These gemstones are primarily found in coastal belts of Louisiana. While not technically a gemstone, they can be quite beautiful incorporated into jewelry.
Right.
And then they talk about corals.
Louisiana. Who'd have thought it? You know?
That's basically about it for Louisiana.
Louisiana. Now, I'm sure you don't think of gold in Louisiana. That's for sure.
No.
You know?
No, not too much.
No.
And the GPAA has a claim there.
In Louisiana?
That's what he said.
Really? I didn't even catch that the GPA has a claim in Louisiana.
I don't know if I think it's a chapter.
A chapter.
Oh,
It's not a claim. Okay.
Okay. Shad went and got his fancy do not
I
cough.
did. I saw a comment.
Did you see that?
I wasn't looking at YouTube comments, and I saw the little YouTube comment that said, "Oh, he's not going to get it," just like, Scott never shows his
Right.
gold.
I seen it. Yeah. I was hoping
I don't know if you can read it if it's out of focus. But
That's cool though. That's a cool mask.
yeah.
Not bedazzled.
Well,
Yeah, that's something I would get.
You could put bullet casings on it or something for him, Kathleen. You can guide bedazzle it. That would work for Shad. Yeah, I'm glad you did it, Shad, because I seen the comments too. Mm-hmm. Good.
I was surprised in Louisiana about these pirate ships and stuff. I never really thought about it off the coast.
Yeah, well, you got New Orleans. That's an
Right.
old port from the French.
Yeah,
That's a
Pirate,
really.
Pirate Central, I would think. Yeah.
I mean, you got vampires down there and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Vampires, pirates, voodoo, all that.
Voodoo.
Oh, yeah. You got the voodoo dolls. And
Yeah. It's Louisiana, man. It's cool.
they want to do the voodoo that you do. So
you.
So, I mean, Louisiana, you can't help but wonder, what are some crazy laws, right?
Oh, I bet there's some good ones for Louisiana.
It have to be.
So I'm going to go to a few different sites. I'll try
Okay.
not to repeat any. But this one, it looks like this site's kind of breaking them apart in categories. So the first section is laws that were enacted to curb people's inappropriate and rude behavior.
Okay.
That's good. So here's your first one. It's illegal to urinate in the water supply, and an infraction may cost you up to 20 years in prison.
Oh,
Wow.
Nope.
I'll bet you-
Peeing in the water supply.
hey, you know what? That's pretty serious.
Oh, yeah.
there had to be some drunk walking down the road just winging it one night. I'm
I
telling
know,
you.
but think about all the diseases you can get from water.
All right. Well, it is also illegal to gargle in public places.
All right.
Okay.
Now, this next one, some people would definitely appreciate, but snoring is prohibited unless all bedroom windows are closed and securely locked. So evidently you could snore so much that if you don't secure your window shut, it will magically open.
That's right.
Well, they just don't want to hear it, probably.
Yeah, but why do you got to lock your
I know
window?
the locking's what gets me on
Yeah,
that.
it's like, why?
So somebody don't climb up and kill you for snoring.
Oh, maybe that's it, Scott.
I can see that.
So this
Right.
next one here, I don't know what they mean by this phrase. I'll read, but you may not put a bed to the ultimate test before buying it.
Oh,
I don't know what
Jumping on it.
ultimate test is.
You
Jumping
can't
on
try
it.
before you buy.
Is it, wrestling around in it?
right. Jumping up and down.
Probably.
Yeah, I would think it's jumping up and down. Yeah, that's the
But
ultimate.
it's funny that they call it the ultimate test.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I don't know if somebody rephrased that
Well,
one, paraphrased
Well,
it.
didn't they have an old? Yeah, but didn't they have like an old time commercial? Like they said it was the ultimate test. You put a wine glass on it, and you jump on the other side. And...
Yeah, but
Maybe.
maybe that's the ultimate test.
Big cannonballs that they just drop on.
Yeah, the cannonball thing.
All right, now this one here is in. We're going into New Orleans, so a really specific location.
Okay.
And this makes sense, obviously, with all the festivities for Mardi Gras and the like in Bourbon Street. But you may not fall onto a sidewalk and block it while being drunk. So if you fall down, roll out of the way.
Yeah, fall over to the side.
You're
Fall
fine.
and roll.
Yeah, and it's okay. You can lay
Tuck
there
and
all
roll.
night. Just don't block the sidewalk.
No blocking of the sidewalk. We don't got time for this.
Right.
All right, now this next section, they said addresses very specific circumstances. So ordering a pizza to be delivered to your friend without them knowing could land you a $500 fine.
Wow.
That makes sense, right? You know,
Oh, no.
there was some guy in the news, an old guy, and it's actually, there's a couple of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, somebody was ordering him and paying ahead of time, though, a pizza every day
Okay.
for years.
Okay.
And the guy was freaking out about it. Like, please, for the love of God, no more.
No more pizza.
Like, you got to Google it. I can't remember what state
Really?
it
I
was.
have to look that up.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Just
I
as a
did.
prank?
Well, one day he got like 25 pizzas
Jesus,
delivered all at once.
for the love of God, no more pizza.
So, okay, I think we can sympathize with that.
Yeah, okay, but you shouldn't get fined for it. Somebody was trying to be nice.
Now,
Right.
okay, this next one's kind of funny. You got to listen to it, right?
Okay.
Pay attention to the specific words.
Okay.
You may not dare another person to go onto railroad tracks owned by someone else. So you're able to dare somebody to lay on railroad tracks if you yourself own them.
I didn't know you can own railroad tracks.
I
Not
didn't
either.
either. But
The wording is interesting.
the
It is-
wording is very interesting. So if I dared Scott to lay on somebody else's railroad tracks, I could get in trouble. Right?
Yep.
But if I own those railroad tracks, it's all good.
It's all good. You can double dog dare them.
So
Maybe because nobody really owns their railroad tracks.
No, I bet you the person that probably had to write the law or agreed, like they needed his vote. And the
yeah,
guy probably took a sip of some, liquid.
shows how it
It
was
was
done.
like, well, I can do it. I own these railroad tracks. So I want
Right.
to the only way I'll sign off on this law.
You're probably right. That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah, that one rich
I can
guy.
see it.
Has to be it. Has to be it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, every law they usually sneak a bunch of stuff in so everybody votes yes.
It was the little Monopoly guy.
Yeah.
'Cause he
All
had
right.
all those
So
railroads.
we all know weddings, have great buffets or food. And even sad to say, a lot of funerals, the wakes also have a lot of food that, to comfort people and
Well,
stuff.
sure.
So this law here, mourners at a wake may not eat more than 3 sandwiches.
What if you're really
Why?
sad and the sandwiches make you
I
happy?
want-
That way you're not there just for the food.
You're cut off at 3.
Still, 3 sandwiches is a lot of sandwiches anyway.
Well, it depends. Like, okay, a sandwich
Or a finger sandwich.
hoagie, or
Yeah.
is it like a little sandwich?
Little finger sandwich, yeah.
Little fingers, yeah.
Only 3.
Yeah. I thought that one was funny.
That's interesting.
Now, okay, this next one, we all know driving a vehicle is really serious business.
Sure.
But, you know, riding a vehicle with like a stranger driving, like taxis and stuff, you know, you're putting a lot of faith into these people that they won't get you in a wreck and kill you or paralyze you for life, right?
Right.
You know, so this law here is actually really good because taxi drivers in Louisiana are prohibited from making love in the front seat of their taxi during their shifts.
That's okay.
I
That's
feel
pretty
safer
basic.
already.
I do too. I'll never worry if I get in a cab in Louisiana again, right? No worries. It's all good.
Why they made that a law?
I don't know.
So weird.
Now, we got a ton of laws to get through because this is Louisiana,
I'll keep going.
right? So
I
okay,
agree.
we're going to go into Mardi Gras, right? Huge time of the year. Now, Mardi Gras.
Laissez-les pantalons rouler.
The, the Mardi Gras beads may not be thrown from a 3rd-story window.
Yeah, because it would hurt.
You
Like-
dang right it does.
Now, this
Some
next
of those
one,
bees are big as golf balls.
you know, you think of Louisiana, you think of blackwater swamps, you know, and obviously snakes,
Yeah.
probably. So in Mardi Gras, snakes are not allowed within 200 yards of the Mardi Gras parade tour.
Do the snakes read these laws? Are they aware?
Are they aware of these laws?
Well, in all fairness, it's probably like performers with snakes.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
boa
the only thing I can
constrictors.
think of.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's not only it ain't just that. You got people that party that walk down there with big boas around their neck and stuff during Mardi Gras. It's really great. If you ain't never been to a Mardi Gras, buddy, that's a bucket list. You gotta go.
That law needs to be more specific.
Yeah, it should be, but hey, if that's fine by me, the safest place. But 200 yards isn't that far away.
No.
Now, speaking of, you know, beads obviously are popular to throw, but condoms may not be thrown from parade floats.
Say that again. What?
Condoms may not be thrown from parade floats. So you can't be on a float and be throwing them out there.
We're making it rain with condoms.
Now, speaking of throwing objects, you're not allowed to at a parade float, which, okay, I get that.
That makes
That can
sense.
cause harm. That
Yeah.
damage the floats, whatever. Now, television reporters may not throw doubloons, trinkets, or other throws to the crowd during a parade.
What? Who can't?
Reporters,
Just reporters can't.
yeah, they're not allowed to.
But anybody else can, probably. But
Yeah.
Not reporters. Okay. Another one makes no sense.
All right. So then we'll go to another category. You know, these ones are obviously outdated. They're
Okay.
So goatees, right? Like, you know, I think Tim, you kind of got one. I'm more of
Manny
beard
has
right now,
one.
but Manny has one.
Right.
Goatees are illegal unless you pay a special license fee for the privilege of wearing one in public.
It's prestigious.
It's a prestigious thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So you get to pay for your goatee license?
Yes. Was it like
Colonel Sanders.
was it like
maybe.
wealthy people only?
Oh, maybe you're right, Chad. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Only the wealthy, brother. Only the wealthy.
This one's funny that it's still on the books, but it's illegal for a woman in New Orleans to drive a car unless her husband is waving a flag in front of it. like at Lowe's and Home Depot, like you see the people walking around escorting the power equipment.
Yeah.
So evidently you need to get out there in front of your wife and be like, it's okay, officer. This is still a law. this is one. We need to go to New Orleans down there. You
We need
start
to
driving.
We need to wander down there.
I'll get a flag.
Do it.
I'll start walking, twirling it. When a cop finally comes up to us, pull out the paper. It's the law. It's her turn to drive.
Or maybe they mean like, the flags that show you which way to go.
Yeah, like you're landing an airplane.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be more like,
Yeah. Turn left.
I'm sorry, but that's funny.
It is funny. Can't make these up.
I'm offended.
I guess you should be.
All right, moving into New Orleans now. Did you know it's actually illegal to practice voodoo within the city limits?
I did hear that.
I didn't know that. No.
You can't practice voodoo in the city of New Orleans. You got to go outside.
Outside city limits.
Yep.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
the bayou. You got to go on the bayou.
Now, speaking of the bayou, right? You may not tie an alligator to a fire hydrant.
Another animal.
Yeah.
Dang.
When you're walking your pet alligator from the
Fine.
bayou into New Orleans,
Do not
tie it up on a fire hydrant. Like, what's wrong with the fire
I
hydrant?
think somebody did
I
that
don't
one.
know. Tie him to a pole.
But why a fire hydrant? Okay, it's okay to do to a pole.
Well, I guess this way, if there was a fire and the firemen had to get to the fire hydrant,
There you go.
yeah, that's
There
probably
must have been
why.
a joke where somebody hated firefighters, so they tied alligators up to every single one.
Maybe somebody did that.
And then the whole neighborhood, the whole town burned down. All
Yep.
North burned in flame because somebody put alligators out.
Could be.
So, city commission members may not drink during a public meeting or else risk a $50 fine.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
We need to be clear-headed.
Had a good time back in the day. Now, one may not host a game at Lafayette Square without a permit.
A game?
Yeah, no games.
A game.
No
Maybe
games.
they meant gambling.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Now, did you know one-handed bicycle riding is prohibited?
What about no-handed?
Every rider of a bicycle, tricycle, or other vehicle propelled by hand or foot must at least keep one hand on the handlebars while riding.
What if it's a unicycle and there's no handle? Just saying.
That's kind of a weird one.
It's strange.
Yeah.
All right, so this next one, you may not ride horseback or drive cattle on the neutral ground or fasten any animal to a tree in a public highway, neutral ground, park, public place, triangle, or sidewalk in the city.
What's neutral ground?
Yeah. What's neutral ground?
Is that public?
Maybe.
Public then.
Say that again. Say that again.
You may
Say
not
that
ride
again, Chad.
horseback. Okay, you're not allowed to ride horseback or drive cattle on the neutral ground. You also cannot fasten any animal to a tree in a public highway, neutral ground, park, public place, triangle,
Public.
or sidewalk in the city.
They've already said public, so what does neutral mean?
Right. So what's neutral?
What is neutral ground?
Huh.
He's Googling it.
What is neutral?
I lived down there for a long time. I've never heard of neutral ground.
You never heard of neutral grounds?
No, unless they're talking about Indian ground, but I don't think so.
No, that wouldn't be.
Yeah, and
That's weird.
I don't know what
Do
it is because
Louisiana.
when I
Maybe it's a Louisiana thing.
Maybe.
all right, let me add Louisiana into the Google.
Yeah.
All right, neutral ground
Also known
is also known as the neutral strip or territory in the no man's land of Louisiana. It's referred to as the Sabine Free State. It was an
That's
area
Indian.
disputed between Spanish Texas and the U.S. newly acquired Louisiana Purchase.
Huh.
Okay.
That's Indian ground.
okay.
This is in the western part of the state of the Boot, was neutral territory between the Spanish and the U.S.
Hmm.
On the Texas-Louisiana.
Texas-Louisiana border.
Yeah.
Neutral ground. So that's
Yeah.
neutral ground.
Wow, so that is an
I
old law
learned
then.
something new.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's like I said, I figured it was Indian ground because it's Sabine is Indian.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Scott.
It's another term for reservation, maybe? Neutral ground?
Yeah. Hey.
No man's land.
No
All right.
man's land.
In the town of Sulphur, which this is near Lake Charles, Louisiana, did you know it's illegal to be an alcoholic?
And who determines that?
Yeah,
Right.
what's their definition of an alcoholic?
Right.
Key thing there.
Mhm.
Now, also saying obscene things on the telephone is illegal.
Okay.
Now, what's obscene? Is
Right.
it
Who determines?
vulgar language of the sexual nature? Is it?
But still, what if the person you're talking to likes it? So
I mean, especially nowadays, you need to know because anything can offend anyone and be considered obscene
Oh my
now.
gosh. Yeah.
So, anyway, now in Jefferson Parish, minors may not go to businesses with coin-operated foosball machines unless accompanied by an adult.
Minors, you meaning under 18?
minors. Oh, I thought you meant minors.
Gold minors.
I was say they
So if
can't
you're
play
under
the
18, you
Yeah.
cannot.
Well, I mean, I guess a lot of them are probably bars. Or
probably in bars. Yeah, the foosball.
balls.
Yeah,
The foosball.
that makes sense.
Foosball for the devil.
Uh-huh.
Foosball. Now, no one may pour a drink out on the ground at any drive-in movie.
Because they don't want ants or something. I don't know.
All right, now this next one here, Scott. All garbage must be cooked before it can be fed to any hogs.
Uh-huh.
Scott.
No raw meat, I guess.
Maybe.
Well, if it wasn't cooked, it wouldn't be garbage.
Well, maybe it's to prevent like them from putting like, I don't know, dead things.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I believe the term for garbage is like anything left over from a dinner. So that's always cooked. So that's garbage.
Maybe.
I reckon, unless it's just something you're taking and throwing out of your refrigerator that's spoiled or no good or
Well, I mean, that's what slop used to be. It used to be just leftovers of
everything.
everything for breakfast and dinner.
So that's all cooked, though, right?
Yeah.
That is kind of weird.
It's,
All right. Did you know in the town of Cairn Crow, I think that's how you pronounce it, there's a current ban on cowbells. No more cowbell there.
Wait.
More cowbell. More cowbell.
yeah, I need more.
In,
cow-
Need more
in Aidville, it is illegal to use your roller skates on a sidewalk.
I don't know why.
Out down the road, evidently.
I was gonna say, good luck with that traffic.
Get in the street. Get in the
Now, in Rain, it's illegal to trick or treat for kids who are aged 14 and up.
No.
Oh,
You know, I really wish that was a law here because that's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like teenagers coming to your door, they don't even have a costume on. Give me some candy.
You know, all right. Good point. Very good point.
well,
you
they
think
do say trick or treat.
Yeah.
Well, you think of a lot of these laws, the really obscure ones, they're usually old, really outdated. But did you know there's actually a law that said, you know, the use of cash has been outlawed for those who buy and sell secondhand goods. You're prohibited from using cash. Now, this bill is a new Louisiana law under House Bill 195 that was passed earlier this year.
In 2020?
I think so, yeah. So this is
You
a recent
can't
one.
use cash.
You can give a check or a cashier's money order or electronic transfer.
What? Really?
That kind of makes sense because like if it's used goods, it could be broken.
No. You can't pay cash.
I know because cash you can't get back.
That don't make no sense at all. You can't say it does anyhow. I don't care.
No. Because cash you can't get back if it's broken, but like a money order
I'm
and a
sorry.
check, you can stop payment.
That's a stupid one.
If
Yeah.
I'm selling you something secondhand that's used, I get cash. I don't have a phone swiper or anything like that for a credit card. Come on.
They can give you a money order or a check.
Oh, that just makes everything that much easier in life, doesn't it?
It's stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you drove 3 miles to get this.
No, it
but you gotta
doesn't.
go
'Cause
get
the
it.
money order or is gone immediately. So
Yeah.
it's possession. You can't cancel that.
You can place.
No.
Yes, you can.
No, that has nothing to do.
No.
It makes no sense.
You can track
It
them
makes
down
no sense.
with the
I'm
money
sorry.
order.
Moving on. It's illegal to play a
Track them down.
You can.
You can.
Oh. All right, we're done with that one. Moving on to another one to
Sorry.
debate. It's illegal to play a musical instrument for the purpose of attracting attention without a license.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to get attention, get a license first before you start playing that tuba.
well, that
I
makes
think
sense.
that's for panhandlers.
Yeah. The
Oh,
ones who just play music and put their guitar thingy out and they want change and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't have change no more. They got to have money orders.
Hey, did you know communism is against the law?
Is it now?
Hey, look at that. You Marxist pigs.
When did that happen?
Hey, oh, by the way, I got more explanation about
1776, Tim.
no saying or seeing things on the telephone, right?
Right.
You can go to section 8-136 that specifically states telephone communications in proper language harassment. No person shall engage in or institute a telephone call, telephone conversation, or telephone conference with another person anonymously or otherwise, and therein use of obscene, profane, vulgar, lewd, lascivious, or indecent language, or make a suggestion or proposal of an obscene nature or threaten any illegal action.
So they really define what obscene is there.
They defined it all right. Dang.
Hey, but you could also stay in section 8 and just go to -131, and there you'll read that it's illegal to have sex with a cow.
Hope so.
Now you know that probably.
So crime against nature is unlawful and is the unnatural carnal copulation by a human being with another of the same sex or opposite sex or with an animal. So this is actually pretty outdated.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, stay
You
away
think?
from cows.
No
Now,
cows.
I
driving.
thought bestiality was pretty much illegal everywhere.
That's what I thought. They had to
Now-
put in the books there. Though.
They need to probably bring this next law up. Only 2 people may picket on a sidewalk at a time, and they must stay at least 5 feet apart at all times.
Well,
Sounds like COVID picketing.
Distancing.
So all the rioting and protesting, yeah, you gotta stay 5 feet, and it's not allowed on streets,
Just on the
in front
side.
of residences, place of businesses, or public buildings.
Okay.
I think they do that because if there's only 2 of them, people just drive by and go, look at these goobers.
Probably. Goobers.
That was from 1967.
Goobers.
In 1982. Now, hey,
well, now it's 6 feet.
yeah, now they need to update that.
Yeah, right. They need to change that.
Or wearing a mask.
No person may predict another's future. It's unlawful to practice or engage in fortune telling, palmistry, or reading futures and the like.
In Louisiana?
I thought that was a big thing in Louisiana.
Too. Like,
Fortune telling.
It's the devil.
It is the devil, but still,
There's a fine line, boys. There's a fine line.
obviously, there's a fine line.
Now, we read that one about bicycles, right? You got to have hands on the wheel.
You're right.
In New Orleans,
the
though,
handle.
they defined it as fancy bicycle riding is prohibited.
Fancy bicycle riding. One-handed. It's fancy. Ooh.
No tricks. No tricks. No handwriting. That can't be doing.
No-handed riding. You'd really blow their mind.
Or steer with your knees.
Yeah. You'd
Now,
be-
electrical wire should not be attached to trees. Now, I find it funny they use the word should. So that to me says you can, but you
shouldn't.
probably shouldn't.
shouldn't, right. It might
Yeah, it's
be
pretty much a smart idea.
They thought upon it, but you know what? If you got to do it, go ahead.
do it. But
Just do
you
it.
shouldn't.
Now, hey, horses may not be tied to a tree on a public highway. We did say that one, right?
Those crocodiles to fire hydrants.
No, fire, yeah. Hey, did you know chasing fish in a city park is against the law?
No, I didn't know that.
The chasing of the fish.
Never seen a fish running through the park, but hey, if I seen that, I'd have to chase him down. That's worth $1 million.
Oh, now here's another funny one, right? So somebody must have been tying up their alligator to a fire hydrant. They're like, sir, you can't do that one, right?
Right.
But it's probably because also you can get actual 10 years in prison for stealing an alligator.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Stealing one?
Yeah, somebody probably tied it up.
Somebody stole it.
And somebody stole it, and they're like, oh, we got to have a law. You can't steal. But why'd you put it on a fire hydrant? That's just stupid. We got to have a law that says you can't do that too.
All right. You left it on the fire hydrant? I stole it.
Evidently, like a lot of people are doing strange things to alligators.
It sounds like it, don't it?
I look at it this way. If I'm walking down the road and I see somebody go, you know what? I'm going to steal that alligator. Who's really going to mess with that dude anyway?
Yeah, it's like, go ahead, steal it.
Yeah, right. Oh, if you want to steal it, you're dang right. I'm going. What are you
I
going
want
to
to
do?
watch. Yeah, I want to watch that.
All right, moving to this next one. Like, I don't know, when I was a little kid with Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage, I thought the wrestling I was watching was real.
Right.
Did everybody pretty much like all of a sudden
I thought it was.
there was that realization you learned it's not, and you're like, what? So Louisiana decided to tackle this, right? Fake wrestling matches are prohibited.
Wow.
Oh, I want. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
So they probably don't have wrestling in Louisiana.
No WWF.
Right.
Or whatever it's called.
Right. They don't have big WrestleMania shows in Louisiana.
I don't know. I wonder if they do and be like, that's against the law.
It's not fake.
Well, all right. Speaking of like going to boxing matches, people at sporting matches, they talk trash to the people that are playing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In a boxing match, spectators are not allowed to mock a contestant.
Why only in?
Well, kind of makes sense.
Well, you wouldn't want him jumping out of the ring and go knocking you out.
Right. He might come out of that ring and wear you out.
I was going to say, you're not behind glass. It's not like hockey.
Well, what if it's not a verbally mock? What if it's just like acting like them?
Oh.
Is it that?
Maybe.
Or is it some guy going, I mocked you?
No.
I think it's pretty, you know what? I think it's pretty common sense.
That probably caused the fight.
Probably.
Did you
Don't
know
don't mess with the guy with the big
it's
liver.
against the law and there is a punishment for stealing crawfish?
Okay.
Oh, heck yeah.
Crawfish.
Oh, yeah.
Big deal.
It is a big deal.
Shad,
Yeah,
we lost your video again, Shad.
You didn't lose
They
it.
got crawfish farms down there.
Turn it on.
I just went away.
Can't
All
look
right.
there.
We're getting down to the bottoms here. But there is rituals that involve the ingestion of blood, urine, or fecal matter are not allowed.
Voodoo.
Let's hope not.
Well, this is statewide.
I know.
So you just can't ingest it. No drinking the blood, the pee, or the poop.
But you can pour it over top your head and stuff. Dance
Yes,
around
as
in
long
the
as you're not
moonlight.
ingesting it.
Right. Just can't drink it. All right.
Hey, did you know if you get a serious burn, you must report it to the fire marshal?
No, I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Wonder why.
Now, this next one's kind of funny, right? Because, people that go to prison, it sucks. And, you do hear occasionally people take their own lives or try to hurt themselves
Like
to go to the
Epstein?
hospital. Yeah, Epstein, allegedly.
Yeah.
But it's prisoners who hurt themselves could serve additional years in jail.
Okay.
I think it's probably that one backs to the old, probably the manual working parties and the chain.
Oh, the old
always
gang
had.
gangs and stuff.
Well, suicide's still illegal.
Or starvation.
Yeah, they can't hurt themselves to get out of if they're sentenced to hard labor. Shooting lasers at police officers is illegal. That makes sense.
How about sharks with laser?
Right, no sharks with freaking laser beams.
Hey, you know what's really funny is because here in Phoenix, they've had since I lived here, they've probably had 15 or 20 people get arrested because they shine a laser up at the helicopter flying around.
Sure.
Don't do that.
No,
they really don't like it.
All right, I got a few here. We're gonna go back because it gives you a little bit more detail.
Okay.
We'll go to crawfish because this is a big deal about
it is.
They're really hold them dear.
They do.
Well, they got big crawfish farms down there.
It's like the state animal is crawfish.
Their mascot.
Well, it gives a little more context here. So, no person shall knowingly, willfully, or intentionally fish or take any commercial crawfish from any crawfish farm except with the consent of the owner.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's their business.
Now, whoever commits the crime of theft of crawfish when the misappropriation or taking amounts to a value of $500 or more shall be imprisoned with or without hard labor for not more than 10 years, or may be fined more than $3,000 or both.
Yeah.
Now, if the amounts value $300 or more, but less than the value of $500, the offender shall be imprisoned with or without hard labor for not more than 2 years and may not be fined more than $2,000.
So really, it depends on how much you take.
Yeah.
Now, if it's less than $300, the offender shall be imprisoned for not more than 6 months, or may be fined not more than $500 or both.
Hey,
Now,
what year was that law wrote?
1977.
Oh.
And then updated in 2001.
Oh, man, they're serious.
Okay.
Now,
Maybe stealing from commercial traps or
Probably.
what it is.
that's probably the big thing. Yeah, it's all there for you already, and you go and sell
Right.
it.
Just go and scoop them out.
Now, if the offender in such cases have been convicted of theft of crawfish one or more times previously, upon any subsequent conviction, he shall be imprisoned with or without hard labor for not more than 2 years, or may be fined not more than $2,000.
Well, they're really detailed there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I live down in Louisiana. If you get caught one time and you get to go to jail, consider yourself lucky, because usually they just pepper your butt.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
They'll just shoot you.
Now, going to the boxing one, it actually goes into also, it includes open betting or quoting of odds, including insulting or abusive remarks are not allowed.
So it is mocking.
You're not allowed open betting or quoting of odds in the club or arena where the exhibition or contest is being held.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You're not allowed to insult or have abusive remarks made by seconds, managers, or spectators and directed at the contestants.
Probably because it eggs the fighter on or something.
I guess.
I don't know.
Okay.
But like I said, you don't want a guy jumping out of the freaking ring and busting you right in the mouth with a pair of boxing gloves. This guy's paid to bust people in the mouth. You're really going to make him mad? No.
Yeah, true.
Now, all right. It is illegal to steal a movable, even if it is classified as an immovable.
A movable what?
What's a movable?
Kathleen, a movable what?
Like something that's like securely fastened. You can't take it away. That's kind of weird. It's just
What's a movable? A movable.
So if somebody stole my house, that would be illegal.
That's a
it's a mobile home.
right. That's a movable.
Then it's legal because it's movable.
How you think they got that rolling down the river?
Dead timber is movable.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
They're
It's
speaking
dead.
of timber.
Okay.
all right. They're talking about
Where's this?
logs. Movable. Why didn't they just say logs?
Yeah, like if it's dead, it's movable. but they're basically saying you can't steal live trees because they're not dead yet.
Well, I don't think you could. I don't think you want to steal off of a log yard neither. But
I don't know.
Movable.
So immovables by nature include tracts of land, trees, crops, fruits. It's actually there's a whole long law.
See, they need to
buildings, structures.
In other words, don't steal.
It pretty much is, yeah. No stealing of the plants.
Right.
Or the
He's more specific though.
Wow. So we learned about neutral ground in
Yeah.
Louisiana and movables.
Movable, and don't show off on a bicycle.
Oh,
No fancy bicycle.
No fancy bicycle ride.
and this is the last one I'm going to say.
Okay.
You can land in jail for up to 1 year for making a false promise.
Wow.
So no, my fingers crossed.
None of that. It don't work.
Nope.
Interesting.
And that's in writing or an oral statement.
Wow. Very interesting. I knew there'd be some wild ones for Louisiana. Just had to be. You know? Rich, where are you going to next time?
I'm not sure. Let's do I haven't did Kansas yet.
Oh, okay. Let's do Kansas next week. You haven't done it. There's got to be some good laws for Kansas too. Kansas.
Oh, I bet you there's probably some better laws that are funnier than maybe the stories from treasure hunting there. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
I can't believe you had so much in Louisiana. Holy crap.
There was a lot for Louisiana. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's, I
It
think,
wasn't even all of them.
been the most so far. Louisiana.
Well, if you're in Louisiana down on the bayous, man, that's a different place altogether.
You live down there, Scott?
Oh yeah, for about what 10 or 12 years, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, they make their own laws down there.
Did you live in the bayous?
Everything's
Yes,
the
I did.
devil.
Did you?
Yep.
Was you a gator hunter?
Yes, I was.
Was you a crawdad fisherman?
Sometimes, but I never told
Bobby
you.
Boucher.
Was you a frog jigger?
Actually, you know what? Never did frogs down there because we ate a lot of fish,
Uh-huh.
a lot of gator tail we found.
Did you
we-
jug fish?
Huh?
Did you jug fish down there?
Yeah, you could jug fish, you could long line. One of my favorite things was going down towards Grand Isle around Leeville and doing. We throw a cast net all night for shrimp.
Right.
But
Ooh.
if you get an ice box full of shrimp, the guy that actually was at the bait shop would give you $100 for the chest.
Oh,
Because
wow.
he would just sell it back in bait.
Right.
So you go down there and you catch a night, you catch 2 to 3 ice chests. That's $300 a night. Man, during the August and the May season, that's good money.
Did you like it down there in Louisiana?
Oh yeah, I
Maybe.
liked it down there.
Why'd you leave Louisiana then?
Well, had things happen with me and my partner that I was with, my spouse. Well, I should have said.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
So they stayed down there, which I'm still in contact with her and a couple of her boys, and
What part of Louisiana was you in?
they're just up from Grand Isle,
Okay.
around the La Rose, Golden Meadow area, that kind of stuff. Grand Isle's about the
Many
southernest part you can get.
chapters in his life.
What, Kathleen?
He's had many chapters.
He has. This is another chapter in the
You can
Biffle
say that.
Swiftwater.
I'll tell you what, though, down there it's pretty awesome. It is a fisherman's paradise because man, you could almost live off the land all the time back then. It wasn't too bad. You can go out and catch whatever you wanted every day.
Did you have an airboat?
No, I had
Oh.
a P-roll.
You had a Piro?
Yep.
Man, look at
I
you.
used to paddle that thing probably 15 miles a day.
Piro. It was Piro. It was a Scott row.
Yeah, it's like a flat bottom canoe, man, but it went like in 2 inches of water.
Yeah,
It would
right,
still
it's-
go.
Yep. Man, look at you. Mr. Cajun Scott Swiftwater Toney.
It
Tell
was a
us
fun
that-
place.
Tell us something in Cajun, Scott. You speak Cajun?
I remember let the good times roll. Les bon temps roulés.
Well, that's good enough then. All you need.
Look at that. I learned so much about Scott. Like first he's in a commercial, and
Right?
then he's living in the bayou.
Right? What's next? What will we find out next about Scott?
I don't know.
I don't know. A lot makes sense about him now.
It's making more and more sense.
It does. Scott's an onion. You just got to peel back
Another layer just peeled tonight. Yep. You're right, Shad.
Like I said, I used to get bored with stuff, so I've done a lot. I don't know.
You just hop on another freight and head wherever it was headed, right?
That's why I never had kids. I never could do that if I had kids. You got to settle down and you got to have them in school. Then no, I don't have kids. I could drop of a hat. I could pick up and take off and go where I needed to go.
Man, look at you. Learned something new about Scott tonight. That was interesting. Well, you know what else is interesting? Tuesday night hangouts with Ed, Justin, Daniel, and the Treasure Vixens.
I think you got that one right.
I think I got it. Every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over there on their YouTube channel. Be sure and check them out. They're Tuesday night hangouts, 8 o'clock. Tuesday night.
Oh, by the way.
What?
I did see Dennis Dayton's on his way.
I thought he made it.
He's already there.
Well, I don't know. I seen a video today. Remember, I've been offline for 2 days, so.
He's already there.
He's already there. Okay.
Yeah, they're there.
And then Thomas Pennyweight Fowkes is up in Nome.
And then?
And I seen what they call the Mega Dredge.
And then?
It's actually being built, man. He's got some stuff on top already built up. I think it's might be the sluice runs that I seen, but I'm not for sure. But he's getting her built.
Who is?
Well, who's got the Mega Dredge, man?
Thomas?
The Paul Ranky.
Oh,
Ranky.
Oh, I didn't know what you were talking.
Remember the Mega Dredge that they were building?
Yeah.
Well, they've got stuff welded to it now. It looks like the sluice runs, but I was trying to get a little more look at it, but I couldn't tell. But he showed it. They took a picture of it. So they are building something on it.
Oh, cool.
And it's a big old barge. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a big old barge. I seen it. It's huge. Yeah. It'll be a Mega Dredge, all right.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Oh, mercy. Man, that's good stuff right there. I think that's like everything for tonight.
Could be.
I think so. I think we covered it all. Shad, Kathleen, welcome back one more time.
Yeah, buddy.
Have you back. Get you some rest before you go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, work tomorrow.
Yep. Well, enjoy your first day back to work from the comfort of your own home. I feel free. Seriously, get some rest, guys. Welcome. Excuse me. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. Glad you guys had a good trip. Dennis, if you're listening, good luck.
Good luck, Dennis. Dayton,
Keep us
baby.
posted if you can, And other than that, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to join us Wednesday for West Coast Wednesday. Until then, we're out of here.
Good night, Gold Diggers.
Good night, Gold Diggers.
Say your Cajun thing, Scott.
Laissez-les pontos rouler.
Ciao.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.